This video is a sound comparison of what it's like before and after greasing the BBSHD secondary when it is a low miles unit. Usually on a low miles unit you don't really need to go further into the internals. You just need to pop open the secondary, and that's if there's any noise developing at all. Most of the time you probably won't, but you know, it can happen, you know, regardless of who's selling it to you. Sometimes the factory, the Fang, they just don't put enough grease on the secondary for whatever reason. So this could be what it might sound like. This has about 200 miles on it or so. Granted, this is unloaded, so it's going to be a lot louder than it would be on the trails, but still it's considerably louder than you would probably expect for a BBSHD. Okay, so we went ahead and removed the crank and the chain ring just to go, you know, spare you guys the time of having to watch someone remove screws. So now we're down to just the motor itself. Now I've got the screws removed here. You got two here, and two here. That's pretty much all you need to remove. It may not be completely straightforward how to get this off of here at this point, but what you can do is there's a little groove along the side right here, and if you can just put your hand there and just pull it and see how it's separated. Just keep going like that, and you are good to go. Now we can have a look at this, and this is, you know, it's not bad. It's got some grease on it, but obviously it could be greasier, and that's exactly what we are going to do. So you're going to need something to add the grease, and in this instance I'm just going to use you know, just a plastic knife, you know, something disposable. So I'm going to grab the grease here and just, you know, just add it everywhere, really. Anywhere that you already see grease, you can add it on the outside of the teeth, and you can add it down here where the clutch goes as well. So once you have this all done, then you can just bolt it back on, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's pretty easy, you know. I'm not sure you would really want to get this much grease down in here, just because you may not want it like flooding into the inside of that bearing, but you get the idea. Be liberal with it. There's a little groove here for where the pinion contacts. That's good to get some in there. You could even put some on the pinion itself if you wanted. A little down into that groove there. Anywhere where you see grooves, you want to add some. Where there's these spaces, you can definitely add some in there, and it'll just kind of sit in there, and that's good. It's better than having empty space anyway. Yeah, see this along here, that's barely greased at all. That's really the reason why we were hearing that noise earlier. So this is going to make a big difference. Maybe not in unloaded, but definitely when it's actually under load and you're riding it around. When it's unloaded and you're just, you know, you got it on a stand, or it's just on a kickstand, something like that, and you're just hitting the throttle, it may be noisy regardless in that situation because for whatever reason it's just very noisy without a load. Okay, and that's pretty much it. That is about as much grease as we could possibly pack in there. So let's bolt it back up and see how it turned out. You can also inspect everything while you're in here. I mean, this is your clutch, of course. You can make sure everything's working nicely, nothing bent, and this looks pretty good. This bearing's looking good. This is the pedal assist sensor, and this is the pedal assist board back here, and it's all looking good. So let's go ahead and put this in. Okay, so there's two different ways you can do this when putting it back together. One way is to simply put everything on until the secondary makes contact with the pinion, and you can just line it up and you'll see it'll slide in halfway. Past that point, you're going to run into the issue with the clutch not wanting to go down into where it needs to go into. There's two different ways you can kind of deal with that. You can either put it on at that point and just spin the other crank arm backwards until it catches and kind of slides in. That never really seems to work very well for me, but it seems to work for other people fine. The other way would be to remove the clutch and actually put it inside there to start with. As you can see, the clutch is inside right here, and that point, I'm just going to go ahead and put it back on. We're going to make contact with the secondary and the clutch here. And there we go. And what I did here was I kind of spun this piece around. You can do the same thing by spinning this around over here, but the point here is to just have the clutch already inside of that mechanism, and then you're just having it hook onto where it hooks onto on the other side. So it's quite a bit easier. Okay, so at this point we're just going to add our bolts back together, and we're going to see what we have as far as noise. You do want to make sure that you have your gasket fully lined up the whole way around, and you know, if you have packed this with a lot of grease, as this has, you will see some come out the sides. You know, that's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. You probably do want to remove it if possible, and you probably don't want it to get inside of the axle hole, since you know you're going to be putting your crank arm threads through there, and you don't really want it to be greased. You don't want that to you know, come undone. As you can see on this one, I did get grease in there, and that's going to need to be taken out, probably with a cotton swab, Q-tip, something like that. Okay, so this is all set. We're going to go ahead and just give it a quick trial run here. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, but it's quite a bit quieter. And it will be even quieter once there's a load on it. And that's pretty much it.